Chapter 1. Introducing the Inmates. Warning. The following material is sexually explicit and highly graphic. Porky Pig. The 150-kilogram pig sucked and slurped. His knees touching the cold concrete floor, he gulped and, occasionally, he gagged. The mass-murdering monster was unable to take the full thrust of what was being forced into his face. Crack. The cell door suddenly swung open. "You fucking sicko!" the prison officer screamed, so disgusted he wanted to spew. Martin Bryant spat out the penis, a little stunned, maybe even shocked, but certainly not sorry. He didn't care, as long as he got his chocolate. "I walked in on him once," said the Risdon prison officer who witnessed Australia's worst-ever killer sucking another inmate's penis in Tasmanian's most notorious jail. "It's something I'll never forget, no matter how hard I try. Bryant giving a bloke a head job in a cell. We knew he was a cat who often performed sex acts on fellow inmates, but seeing was worse than knowing." Martin John Bryant, now almost 50, is a fat, bald, sexual deviant dubbed Porky Pig. He looks nothing like the pale, long-haired skeleton who killed 35 innocent people and injured another 23 in one of the world's worst shooting sprees. Bryant pulled out a Colt AR-15 SPI semi-automatic and killed David and Sally Smith on the 28th of April 1996 before going on a rampage that would see 78 people shot in what became known as the Port Arthur massacre. He now sucks cock for treats. He would perform sexual services for payment, confirmed former senior Risdon Correction Officer Tony Burley. "I think it was mainly head jobs, but he did other things too, I'm sure. He had plenty of opportunities to do it when he was locked away in the old prison hospital at Risdon. He'd be able to give a bloke a head job in a yard, in a cell, in a laundry, or at a toilet. He did it in most of those places." Bryant, an almost anonymous prisoner despite committing the crime that changed a young nation, spends his days sleeping and taking lonesome strolls around the yard. Oh yeah, and doling out sexual favours. "There's no doubt he's not right in the head," said Burley, now retired. "And the blokes who pay him for sex and head jobs suffer from mental problems too. He was pretty infamous for these acts before the new prison was built and he was moved. We are talking from about 2000 to 2006. Bryant's preferred payment for prostituting himself was chocolate. He would do it for chocolate or whatever else they had," Burley continued. "He loved chocolate." Bryant's weight fluctuates between 130 and 160 kilograms, according to officers who guard the madman. Maybe it depends on how much chocolate he can get his hands on. "The officers called him Porky Pig on the account of his size," Burley said. "I reckon he gets a fair bit of chocolate." Sad. That's how Burley described Bryant's existence. "He's the sort of bloke who doesn't really demand a lot of attention from the officers or raise too many alarms. He's fairly compliant and not considered dangerous. He would be at the bottom of the chain when it comes to dangerous prisoners or those who need observation and management. He has no hobbies and no jobs. He pretty much gets out of bed in the morning, wanders around by himself for a while, and then goes back to bed again. And he eats chocolate." Bryant isn't the only sick, sad, and disgusting sex fiend you are about to meet. Unfortunately, you will hear more about Bryant soon. Gary Murphy, one of the men involved in the gruesome killing of Anita Cobby, might just be worse, and he didn't even do it for chocolate. "I was doing a few months at Parramatta back in the day," a former inmate who asked to remain anonymous recalled.